Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So I got a bit of a weird setup today, guys. I'm working upstairs from my wife's computer and a hotspot because the internet in my house went out. So bear with me if the video isn't as usual. I am still working out some kinks here. Nevertheless, so I wanted to start things off with this, and guys, this is something that has been creeping up slowly that we've kind of forgotten about. The Bitcoin halving is only roughly 24 days away. And as you guys can see, this is a countdown clock from BINANCE Academy. And the Bitcoin halving is going to have an impact, some may say, on cryptocurrency prices. There could be a rally because of this. Others are saying that the price is already baked into Bitcoin and, not to expect anything too dramatic right off the bat. But there is something else that crypto whales are suggesting. And so this particular crypto whale says only one thing will prove Bitcoin is ready for the next bull run. One of the most public and profitable crypto whales around says he's waiting for a single Bitcoin signal to prove the leading cryptocurrency is ready to begin a new long-term bull run. So he goes by Joe007, and he's apparently earned $20 million in realized profits on Bitfinex between February and March. At this point, he says high volatility in traditional markets is likely to continue, a scenario that could push BTC lower in the short term. So he's looking at overall markets and, same kind of thing as what I've said in the past. This is XRP. We got XRP here. Let me just put it on Bitcoin for a second. Ultimately, the charts are fairly similar anyway. We saw this downtrend when markets were collapsing. Now we are kind of rebounding upward. And when you compare that to the S&P 500, we are seeing the same kind of model here. So could we see, as he's suggesting here, Joe007, Bitcoin going lower in the short term? It's a possibility. So with extreme uncertainty in both traditional and crypto markets, Joe says he's watching to see the return of the Bitcoin is dead meme. And once the chorus of capitulators and naysayers declaring the end of BTC reaches a crescendo, he says BTC will finally be free of shaky speculators and poised for a sustainable rally. Ultimately suggesting always do the opposite of what everybody else is doing. Wise words from Joe007, and we've heard that as well from Warren Buffett, right? Be greedy when those are fearful and fearful when those are greedy. Meanwhile, Joe continues to warn fellow traders against placing too much faith in the stock to flow ratio, so he's very critical about that. Goes on about that in the rest of this article. Nevertheless, the Bitcoin is dead meme, guys. That is the indicator Joe007's looking for, and he has been apparently very, very successful at trading Bitcoin. And guys, we know when Bitcoin rallies, altcoins will rally. So when I talk about Bitcoin and I talk about the rally and I talk about the halving, so on and so forth, it's because we are looking at the crypto market as a whole. So be poised, be ready. Remember last year around this time when Bitcoin rallied up to $14,000? Okay, this was April 2019, guys. April 1st, 2019, then we saw that big leg up for Bitcoin, and the rest was history. Bitcoin hit almost 14,000. You bring up XRP on the same chart here, and we can see that XRP did something similar here. If we go to April, right, this was April 1st, we saw that leg up. XRP came down again. So not entirely a carbon copy of what Bitcoin did, but then ultimately XRP did go up to 50.5 cents after that. So definitely something to keep in mind when looking at the bigger picture. Guys, did you notice this? David Schwartz has an XRP belt buckle. I know some of you guys probably knew about this. This from several days ago. I did not know he had an XRP belt buckle. That shows dedication. Not going to dwell on that too much longer. We got Matt here at MatthewLINY on Twitter, and he's knocking it out of the park recently. He's been tweeting out some great information. Got a few of his tweets in this video. This one particularly caught my interest. Earthport is not just a back-end payment rail. Patents suggest Earthport Visa XRP will be massive. And so this diagram here showing how Earthport is essentially going to be that heartbeat, that centralized mechanism that is going to serve many, many clients, including large global banks, regional banks, MTOs and PSPs, e-commerce, SMEs, large corporate clients. Of course, we got the opportunities over here for new product offerings, including DLT, distributed ledger, which includes Ripple payments down here. So guys, we know Earthport has the capability to settle with XRP. That deal was cemented several years ago now, and Earthport also was bought up by Visa just last year. So this could really be huge for payments, considering how big Visa is and considering the plans that are in the works. So just wanted to thank Matthew Liny for that. Got another one here with regards to Earthport, but this one, ProBanks offers Earthport integration for wire transfers. Their customers have access to XRP payment rails. So this ProBanks' website here, features and capabilities down here you guys can see. For wire payments, it does have Earthport integration. So the Earthport connection, we are seeing more and more activity there. Partnerships and new connections are obviously forging all the time as the days go on. We got this from XRP Crypto Wolf on Twitter. XRP is going to have a new trading pair on Bitrue with OceanX officials exchange token, the OCE, and BTR will also start trading on OceanX on April 17th. So this guy's a tweet from Bitrue retweeted by XRP Crypto Wolf. We're partnering up with OceanX official to list OCE on Bitrue and to list BTR on OceanX's exchange. OCE will start trading on April 17th on the USDT and XRP pairs and will open up a wallet for deposits one day earlier on the 16th. So it's interesting to see that they choose XRP in a lot of these cases. Guys, it's not so big of a deal that these new coins are being listed. What the big deal is, and why I bring this to your attention, is because they always tend to be listed with XRP as that trading pair. That to me means one thing, that these exchanges are expecting people to use XRP as that mechanism to transfer value. If somebody wants to buy OceanX token, OCE, or whatever, they can do it and then convert it to whatever they want through XRP. So if you go OCE to XRP, then XRP to BTC, that is going to be a more efficient corridor than using the old antiquated Bitcoin blockchain to make that same transfer. So to me, it's exciting to see that, whenever these exchanges are listing new tokens, we're seeing USDT, obviously, because Tether tied to the US dollar. If people want to cash out and secure profits, it might be a good idea to go to a stable coin like Tether that is pegged to a fiat currency. But XRP, for quick transfer, for quick liquidity, transferring tokens more efficiently. We got this here from @RuleXRP, and this was an extension of yesterday's article when we were talking about, or rather a couple days ago now, the article when I was mentioning that Xpring had developed new updates on the XRPL mainnet, and some of these updates are as follows, if for those of you guys interested in the tech. So we got some more details here. Support for gRPC API versioning, UNL propagation via the peer network, new RPC methods, augmented submit method, improved transaction methods, improved CLI parsing, improved protocol level handshaking protocol, improved package building, and various other minor bugs, fixes, and improvements. For those of you guys interested in the techie side of things, I always kind of add a little bit of that in there for me. I'm more interested in price of XRP, but of course this is all interrelated because technology dictates what is going to happen in the ecosystem, and of course, what happens in the ecosystem will directly reflect XRP liquidity, supply and demand, price goes up. Even people's perception of what is happening in the ecosystem could spur on a bit of a FOMO run, which will also, of course, influence the price of XRP. So it's always good to keep your eye on things. This again from Matthew Lany on Twitter, EFG Hermes and PayTabs, which is RippleTech integrated, is integrating with cashless payments in Egypt. So PayTabs is integrated with Sadad Knet and Bahrain FinTech Bay. This from the Zaya article here. The platform will cater to both online and digital payment needs for multiple customer segments. So the Egyptian financial group Hermes holding company EFG Hermes has teamed up with PayTabs to launch PayTabs Egypt. According to an EGX statement, upon the strategic partnership, PayTabs Egypt will establish a state-of-the-art platform for financial inclusion. This platform will cater to both online and digital payment needs of multiple consumer segments across Egypt, whether the mass affluence or the emerging affluent segments. It is expected to be launched in the short term, so cashless payment integration in Egypt using PayTabs, which is RippleTech integrated. So more great news for the XRP ecosystem. And this guy's, again, Matthew Liny on Twitter, the U.S. Federal Reserve is deciding to hire retail payments manager to research digital currencies. So this could be a great opportunity for somebody who is pro XRP to get into the U.S. Federal Reserve and give their opinions on what really needs to be done with regards to CBDCs, faster payments, so on and so forth. So the U.S. Federal Reserve is hiring a supervisor to oversee its conventional funds part, whereas including new obligations to the position together with researching how to combine digital currencies, stablecoins, and distributed ledger applied sciences. For months, the central financial institution's governors have been hinting at its broader curiosity and understanding and even issuing a digital forex within the face of company stablecoin proposals and nationwide cash overseas. However, this rent seems to be the primary human sources funding made by the Fed in direction of integrating the know-how into its present techniques. In a job posted to the Fed's website on Monday, the position will be used mostly in Washington, D.C., would handle the Fed's retail payment parts, overseeing, verifying, and automatic clearinghouse companies, facilitating analysis in retail funds innovation and addressing coverage and regulatory points regarding retail cost techniques. So boom, a position opening up at the Fed, really to kind of get into the nitty-gritty of digital currencies, understanding what's going to happen, and of course they can take cues from all over the globe because many countries have already decided, or rather are very, very close to getting their entire framework sorted out. United States, as we all know, have been dragging their heels a little bit, but this is a good sign. We're moving in the right direction, and to get somebody who is pro XRP in there, wouldn't hurt either. XRP Buddha mentions here, I'm sure Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, Ashish Burla, David Schwartz, Navin Gupta, Dilip Rao, and Corey Johnson will manage to get an XRP supporter at that job position. It would behoove them to do so, of course. Ripple already does have so many people working with government, working with regulators to move this along. So I don't necessarily see this as a hurdle. I see this as another opportunity, perhaps, to get somebody who knows what they're talking about at that level of government into the Federal Reserve and to really kind of push the benefits of DLT using XRP to source liquidity to push that mandate forward. And Rob Art retweeted this, so this a post from XR psychologist Dr. Chris at Dr._Chris10 on Twitter. I thought this was interesting, and I really, really want to play you this clip, but I can't for copyright reasons. Guys, I will link this clip in the description of the video. This from Julia Chatterley from CNN, okay? And Dr. Chris says, will Ripple be one of the fintechs that helped distribute the $349 billion to small businesses this week? It could happen through a partnership with a large bank, such as Bank of America. This week, we will find out more about which fintechs are involved. So this a clip with Julia Chatterley talking to Karen Mills. So Julia tweets out, this is going to be the week we see fintech come in and maybe even save the day. Karen Mills says more money from Congress is needed and we could still lose 20% of U.S. small businesses because of the beer flu. So guys, this is an 8-minute clip, really interesting insight. And the question being, will Ripple do this through one of the largest banks? We know they have ties with Bank of America. We know that the fintech companies in the U.S. have the capability to do this already. The one thing holding them back and the one thing we keep talking about, we keep dwelling on, is the fact that these regulations need to come through. It almost seems like the lack of regulatory clarity and the fact that they're right on the precipice is as annoying as, like having a pebble in your shoe or something like that. It's something, super, super irritating and you just kind of want to, get them out. And by doing so would make a lot of us feel a lot more comfortable about sending money. And the crazy thing is, we're in this situation and we have the capability to do it. It's almost kind of like you feel like you want to facepalm the government and be like, come on, man, why can't we get this done? Our economy is in crisis. We need the liquidity. Small businesses need to survive. Otherwise, we're just going to hollow out the economy when we come back out of this. I'm no economist, but when I see a solution that works, that is glaringly obvious, it seems like a no-brainer, of course. Anyways, guys, I will leave this 8.5-minute clip here with Julia from CNN talking to Karen Mills in the description of this video. So thanks so much, XR psychologist Dr. Chris and Rob Art for retweeting that. Speaking of Rob Art, he pointed this out. And guys, don't think that this cannot happen in the United States. In case you think money can't become worthless, XRP and Bitcoin are the answer. This from Rob Art, obviously retweeting out this from Gold Telegraph. And I can play you this. These are people from Venezuela walking in the streets, guys. And you can see just money on the ground, nobody even paying attention to grab it because it is essentially worthless. Those are banknotes just sitting in the ground. Because of hyperinflation, it has destroyed the value of the Venezuelan bolivar. So much so to the point where they are just walking right over it in the streets. It has become worthless. You see those videos, those photographs of people in Zimbabwe. I think it was Zimbabwe too. The same kind of thing has happened. People using wheelbarrows to bring stacks of cash to the grocery store just to buy a loaf of bread. That is how worthless the currency has become. And so what is the solution? Of course, Bitcoin, XRP, cryptocurrencies that are deflationary. This is where we're going to find a global solution when we're faced with this kind of economic catastrophe. I'm not saying it's like that in the United States right now, but we are on our way there if the Fed keeps printing money. Certainly can't be a good thing. And finally, guys, this is from crypto_ODL on Twitter. And I have to bring this up because I thought this was super, super interesting. So this from Ripple's website, Craig Phillips. Craig Phillips brings more than 35 years experience of private and public leadership experience to Ripple. He has obviously just joined the Ripple team. And who is he standing here with? Steven Mnuchin, guys. So Ripple is in good with the people that matter for creating and shaping economic policy in the United States. And XRP is an American-made cryptocurrency that can and will help solve a lot of these economic problems that we're facing. Anyways, guys, that's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.